Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be going over my July TBR. So I'm very excited about July because I have decided that I'm not going to do any readathons. I am going to mood read a lot of books. I'm gonna get rid of all of my backstock of ARCs and it's gonna be a fun time. I'm so stoked. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently this month. So I have 4 books that I've set aside. So those are 3 ARCs and then a book that I'm buddy reading with a friend. And then I'm going to choose 2 books out of a TBR jar that I made and then do 1 mood read. So this is how I'm going to be doing my TBRs from now on because I feel like I have a lot of books that are backlisted that I need to get done. So I want to kind of get through like my stock, I guess, of books. So let's just get right into the books that I already have picked out and then we'll do the TBR jar. So the first book on my July TBR is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. So this is a book based on a Chinese folklore and our main character Maya is a seamstress and she gets tasked out of 12 seamstresses to make 2 of these legendary gowns for the emperor. I'm not too sure about anything else to do with this book, but I was really drawn by the cover, and so I'm very excited to be reading this. This comes out July 30th, so make sure you keep your eyes on that. And yeah, I'm very excited for this. The second book on my July TBR I am so excited about, and that is The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. This book was kindly brought to light by my friend Madison Mary, who has now become like the ultimate Merciful Crow fan. So I don't know too much about this book. I'm not too sure if I want to know too much, but I do know that it is set in a medieval world where there are hierarchy of birds between all of the citizens in this world. And so each bird that you're a part of in terms of family pertains to what your magical power is and what nobility status you have in this world. And I think that that's really cool. And I do believe that the crows are at the bottom. So it's going to be really interesting. I do believe that this follows 2 or 3 characters. I'm probably going to be reading this one first because I'm just very excited to get into it. This also comes out on July 30th. The next book on my July TBR I'm so excited about because I've literally had this book sitting on my shelf since like 2016 and I'm buddy reading it with a bunch of people, and that is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So this is a book set in 18th century Cairo where our main character is a con woman. She realizes that all of the stories about mythology comes true and she has to navigate through this newfound magical world. I am buddy reading this with Olivia from Liv Reads a Latte, Kaylin from Kaylin Abridged, Soleil from The Little Reader's Corner, and Lexi from Alexandra Roseland. So I'm reading this with the Hufflepuff gang and Liv because she's not a Hufflepuff, and I am very excited. This has been on my shelf since 2016, so I'm very excited to actually get to it. Like I said, I'm trying to get through a bunch of my backlisted titles because they deserve to be read. I have this habit where I buy shiny new books and then forget about the old books that I have. So the last book that I have on my picked out TBR is one that I have been meaning to read for a while. I just got the hardcover recently, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Earlier this year, I read Daisy Jones and the Six and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, cried, loved it. So I am going to be buddy reading this with one of my friends, Delina. I will leave their blog down below because they do run a WordPress blog where they review books and their reviews are amazing. They also create like playlists for different kinds of books, so I definitely check them out. But I'm very excited for this. This is kind of like told in a historical kind of setting and you don't need to know much more than that. I'm not going to know much more than that because I want to be surprised. Everybody I have ever talked to loves this book, and so I'm very, very excited to get to it. All right, so my next step in this July TBR is this. So this is my TBR jar. So I have folded and picked out all of the unread books that I have on my shelf. This is color coordinated because I want to know the genres that I'm picking out. So pink is for contemporary, purple is for fantasy, and then the orange polka dot ones are mangas or graphic novels. So I'm gonna pick out 2. I don't care what genre it is, and we're gonna see. Oh. So the first one, ooh! So the first one is Tithe by Holly Black. So here we are. So I don't know too much about this book. I know that it is Holly Black's first ever book, and I'm very excited to actually get into this because I know Queen of Nothing comes out very, very soon, and they're kind of related in some way. I think this series is supposed to go first, and I know that there are characters that are part of the Cruel Prince trilogy that are in these books. So yeah, okay, on to the second one. What's it gonna be? Ooh, so the second one is City of Ghosts. So the second one that I picked out was City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. So this is Victoria Schwab's second or third middle grade novel, and it follows a girl who lives in Edinburgh and her parents are ghost hunters. I don't know too much more about this, but I'm actually really excited that I picked this up because, again, I've had this for ages and I need to read it because the second one, Tunnel of Bones, I do believe comes out very, very soon. So for my mood read pick, I am allowed to switch it up twice. The one that I most strongly want to read right now is Graceling by Kristen Kishore. So I don't know anything about this novel, but my coworker absolutely loves it. She says that it is the best fantasy novel she's ever read, and that the second book, Fire, has the best hate to love romance that she's ever read in any YA book. So I am very excited for this. I absolutely adore the cover. If you've seen my mid-year book freakout tag, you will know that this one is the one that I picked for most beautiful cover that you bought this year. I just absolutely adore the aesthetic of it. I love that it has kind of like this old-timey medieval sort of scripture. It's just beautiful. The text placement is beautiful. It's very balanced, and I am just so excited to read this. Like, I could not be more excited for a book other than, you know, Girls of Storm and Shadow. But yeah, I am very excited to read this, but if I decide that I don't want to read this one anymore, or if I decide that I'm not in the mood to read it, then I can actually pick out a different one and go from there. Because I feel like whilst it's good to have these kind of like TBR jars in place, I do want to give myself a little bit of leniency, and I feel like it will be better for my reading if I give myself a little bit of slack. Let me know down in the comments below if you're reading any of these books. I would love to buddy read with some of you. I would love to hear your thoughts if you have read any of these. As always, all of my social media links will be down in the description box below if you'd like to follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, or my Goodreads. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!